The word cache, if used as a verb, means to store away for future use. In Blender, a cache is a collection of data that's saved to your computer. When it comes to particle systems, that means Blender doesn't have to recalculate everything in real time every single time you play through your animation. You can see which frames of our particle simulation are cached by looking at the red line in the timeline. If we've already saved our file, this red line will fill up as we play through our animation. You can see that the playback is pretty choppy the first time we loop through, but the second time, once the red line is already there, it runs at a nice and smooth 24 frames per second. This is because Blender has already saved where those particles are at that particular time, and is simply referencing that information instead of calculating it all over again. The cache settings are located directly under the emission settings in the particle panel. First, I want to talk about these 6 buttons at the bottom, because they're the most important. The first one, labeled Bake, might seem a little bit weird if you're thinking about baking in terms of cakes and lasagna, but really you want to think about it more in terms of clay, where you're taking a malleable sculpture and hardening it in the oven so that all the details are now permanent. And that's exactly what this is doing. So if we press Bake, it's going to basically finalize our particle system such that we can't actually change any of these settings anymore. And as we scrub through the timeline, we get a nice smooth playback, and even if we move this cube around, this particle system is going to stay in the same place. So once you're finished editing your particle system, it's always recommended to bake it first before rendering or doing anything else. Now we have a couple of different options below that. We can free the bake after we've baked it, which just means make it changeable again. We also have calculate to frame, which is going to calculate from the start of the animation all the way to wherever your timeline cursor is. We also have current cache to bake, which I can use now, so instead of baking it all over again, I can use the cache that we already have and just make that more permanent. Now we can also do all of these things for all of the dynamics in the scene. For instance, if we had multiple particle systems or we have a smoke sim or anything else going on, we can bake that all at once instead of having to go through each one individually. Now above those options, we have some options for compression. By default, it's set to none. We also have a light option where it will use a very fast compression, but it'll be pretty inaccurate. And we also have a heavy compression where it's going to be very, very slow, but very accurate. Using that heavy compression will definitely reduce the file size. Now above that we have 2 options that I pretty much never leave unchecked, but the first one is for the disk cache, so it's saving it to disk. If we uncheck this, it's going to save it in our memory. But since this is such a big file, you're pretty much always going to want to save it on disk. You don't want to keep it in your RAM. You can also use the library path, which is going to use the same location that this file is saved at, to save the external cache. So I always leave that checked on as well. Above that we have an option for cache steps, and this is how often in frames that Blender is going to cache our file. So let's free our bake and set the cache step to something like 10. Now if we bake our file again, instead of having a solid red line, we now have these little dashes every 10 frames. So as we move through, we can see that our simulation looks pretty similar, but it's slightly less accurate. So if you want to save space, you can set the cache step up. Normally I'd only use 2 or 3, but you can set it as high as 20. But once you do that, it's going to be very inaccurate, so I don't recommend doing so. You can see that it's very quick, but it doesn't look very good. If you use a high cache step, it tends to look like it's all moving in flat waves. It has a really strange look to it if it's all curving around and stuff, so I recommend leaving this at 1, or at most setting it to 5 if you really have to. Now we also have an option for an external cache, and this lets us load a cache that's not part of this object. So for instance, I can make this particle system appear on this object by using an external cache. So notice that my cache is named my cache, and if I go to this object, add a new particle system, and in the cache settings check external, it's going to be using a different cache instead of simulating a new particle system. So if I navigate to my blend file, I'll see that right next to it, I have a blend cache file with the same file name. If I open that up and click accept, then it says we have no valid data to read. But if I rename this to my cache, then it'll find those points. Now if we play this back, you'll see that there's not really any difference going on. It's not being applied to that object. But actually, if we hide our first object, you can see that it's still right there. Now you can see what's happening with the large cache step. It's definitely looking pretty weird. However, this cache is now applied to this object even though it doesn't have its own independent particle system. You will notice that it's not in the same place as the object itself, It's using the world coordinates of the particle system that was saved before. So you can change the location of this particle system by assigning a parent to it in the render panel. Otherwise, it'll just be a child of the world and use the global coordinates. But for the most part, I pretty much only use one per particle system, and the most important things that you need to know is that once you bake your cache, you won't be able to edit the emission settings, velocity settings, things like that. And it'll also be permanent, and so that it'll play back much faster and you'll get a faster render time if you do so.